What up? It's your boy Nick Incredible, and this is Tracker Episode 3 titled Springland, and Reenie's back. Let's talk about it.
Headed out for change, I just started on my quest. Yeah, the world will know my name, I'm excited, I'm obsessed. No one in my way but myself and a test. Yeah, I will be the best, yeah, I will be the best. Life is just a game, I'll be playing till I rest. I'll be there to claim my own spot among the best.
This episode was pretty interesting. I feel like, although there was a slight twist in there, even though we saw the twist coming, there still was a twist, and there was a little mystery involved as well. So it really kind of elevated the story and the plot for this episode, and a little bit more action packed than episode 2. So I'm not mad at that. Now, this episode, we see that Coulter is on his way to another job, but he stops by in a town called Springland, which is another city in the United States. But he stops here on his way to another case to get breakfast, lunch, or something. I'm not totally sure. But it leads him to a case inside Springland of a missing girl that her sister's sending out flyers. But people in the town aren't really too happy about her dropping these flyers because, this one dude in particular, and as we learn as the episode progresses, we learn why he's so upset more so than anybody else. And he's upset because she seems to think that he has something to do with it, and the man has kids and a wife, and he don't want the town to look at him funny thinking that he had anything to do with the disappearance of this young girl. But I can understand why he done it, but you should also be a little bit mindful in her aspect. And I'm not bashing dude at all. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, you would kind of be in the same predicament that he's in. You're being semi-accused of making this girl disappear when technically you didn't have anything to do with it. You just work for these other people, and she just happened to disappear on that land that you were supposed to be watching over. So hey, please stop, because I didn't make her disappear. The man is very valid, but he goes after Coulter, and that leads to something else. Coulter gets stabbed, and he kind of put the man in the chokehold. Please, enough! I tap out. But that leads him to decide to take her case on. And sure, the other case he was supposed to head to was worth 20 grand. This one is worth 5. But I do love the fact that Coulter, we know he has his own backstory, but I love the fact that although he has all these other cases where about money and everything, and he's a rewardist, which is aka a bounty hunter, sort of, kind of. But if the case kind of piques his interest, or if it's someone that's really struggling or hurting in a situation, Coulter decides to step up and really, because he didn't have to take this case, and 20 grand is way more than 5 grand, but he took it because he could tell that the sister really needed someone to listen to her side of things, because the people in the town really wasn't on her side. And we kind of have that whole kind of vibe to where it's like these particular people are rich, and they're trying to take over the town and make it like this whole tourist attraction, and nobody's really listening to this girl that's really worried about her sister, until Coulter shows up and decides to take on her case. Now we see Coulter kind of having this brief interaction with the doctor clinic lady this episode. Now I was thinking, it was like, oh boy, here we go again, another chick Coulter's gonna sleep with, but they didn't really give us that. We just kind of saw them flirting back and forth and kind of making googly eyes and getting to know each other a little bit more. But I'm not mad with that. I can get behind that. I would have been mad if he was smashing chicks in every city. Hey, do you, man? If that pleases you, do you? But I like the fact that he didn't really do that this time. He just kind of interacted with her, because it wouldn't have meshed well with what was actually going on in the overall plot of the story. He's looking for a missing girl. Her sister's super worried. The town is acting a little shady. So them deciding not to let that happen, in the writing room, and just having Coulter kind of interact with her, I feel like that was the best part. And, him not actually sleeping with her. Reenie is back this episode, and I think that was absolutely fantastic. But we see Coulter is expanding upon this case this episode. And, somehow the sister, is with him, and she's not wanting to give up a little bit. She's actually interested in the case herself, because she has some things to say to her sister. And you can kind of feel that vibe between, I can't remember her name. Oh man. Anyway, I know her name. I wrote it down and everything. But I left my paper. Anyway, it's fine. But our not our MC, but the main character for this episode, so to speak. We see that her and Coulter kind of have this whole symbiotic type thing going on. She feels a certain type of way about her sister, and Coulter even told her straight up, well, it's been a couple months now, so we might be looking at recovery, and well, she might be dead. That's a possibility. And you can kind of see her and Coulter both having these kind of moments with each other, because he feels a certain type of way about his brother, and she feels a certain type of way about her sister. But we see them really dealing with that in this weird vibe that they're getting from this small town, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's kind of being paid off by this wealthy family. But I love the fact that, the twist came in this episode with, the boyfriend, thinking that his father killed her, because his father has this muscle guy that's running around town, doing all these shady things. They're threatening people and killing other people and burning down people's places and stuff. So like they're doing some very shady stuff. And, the boyfriend just assumed that his father would have been the one to do it. But where the twist came in at is the mom was the one that actually got rid of this girl, because she didn't want her making any kind of noises or fuss about, them committing these atrocities. Well, I don't want to say atrocity, but crimes nonetheless. And, and then taking her son away from her. So she kind of just told that dude to kind of get rid of her a little bit. And bro, the way it was a twist, and you can definitely see it coming. They really wasn't subtle about it at all. But I feel like the twist kind of elevated with the whole mystery that was going on. Small town business people kind of had the whole Jack Reacher vibe with the the whole mystery of the small town and someone being rich trying to take over the small town. But I really loved that, man. Well, Reacher, not Jack Reacher, Reacher. But I really loved the twist coming out. I mean, you could see it coming, but still, the fact that it came, it really kind of elevated the story. And Renee is back. She was there helping Coulter again, and I feel like Renee and Coulter have that will they, won't they type vibe thing going on. We know that they have before, but, Renee doesn't want to go back down that path. But every time she pops up on a case, you know what I'm saying, you kind of see some kind of sparks. It's not a real big flame, but it's like where you start to see some sparks where you're about to start a fire. So there's something there, but you don't really want it, because then you don't want it to start and then it kind of just fizzles out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because, Coulter's on the road. As we know, Coulter is constantly running away from something. We also learned this episode that Renee is being contacted by someone named Russell, which we all know is Coulter's brother. And he's telling her that, hey, he killed my father and then he ran away. So it's a whole ordeal. And like I said, you could see the semblances between the girl this episode and Coulter. I feel like that's kind of why he took her case, because it was kind of something he was dealing with as well. This is overall a better episode than 2. But like I said, 2 wasn't bad. This one is just a little bit more action-packed and a little bit more, upbeat in my opinion. And that's not a bad thing, but like, that's what we're there for, that adrenaline rush, that excitement. And they really brought that this episode, because that moment where they were in the forest and they were looking for the van and they were getting shot at, it kind of had your heart racing a little bit. But overall, it was a nice episode, man. The whole team was working, Coulter reached out to them. They all were kind of putting their 2 cents in to help along with the case, which is something that we see every week. But it was a nice episode overall. And I love the ending part right there where Coulter is kind of talking to the girl and was like, she doesn't know what she's going to do with the van. He was like, well, fix it up, take it. And, that way you can kind of have that kind of connection with your sister. I thought that was really nice, man. This is really incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe. Peace out.
Cause I've been working a lot, I think I deserve a shot, I think I deserve a spot. Cause it's been years on this path that I walked, and if I keep going, I pray I'll be at the top.